what happened at the Bassmaster Elite's first stop in Palatka on the St. Johns River. That's what we're going to talk about right now. If you like this content, please hit that like and subscribe, and welcome to the team. But my name's Steve Chapman, and I do this channel. I appreciate you guys subscribing, and thank you. How did it go on the St. Johns River in Palatka? Well, it was all right. It was a good tournament. Weather played a big role, but I couldn't be happier to say congratulations to Bill Lowen, a fantastic person. He is one of the great guys out there. But my hat is off to him, his family, and his team for a fantastic start to the 2025 season. Now, what were some of the goods and bads of this tournament? Well, we got to see Rick Clunn step in for Mark Zona. Big shoes to fill. And on the first day, I felt like Rick might have been talking too much. I think as the weekend went on, I think he dialed it down a little bit. Rick is one of those guys that you could learn so much from, it's not even funny. But for me, I would rather hear the angler talk about his experience and what he's doing than the commentators. And in my opinion, the commentators took too much, or took over too much on the first couple days. I didn't get to watch day 3, I'm going to be real, because we had a bunch of boys here from swimming, and they stayed the night, and it was just a madhouse. But getting back to the fishing, it was a great tournament. The weather played a big role because we've got to see a bunch of anglers go out and not scope to catch fish. We got to see more anglers traditional fishing than scoping the first few days. As the day 3 and 4 went on, we did see anglers like Gerald Swindle, who's put a lot of time into learning the technology, using the technology in perspective mode to finding fish on beds. But anyone thinking that these guys were just out there bed fishing is wrong. Most of these fish were post-spawn. I know that sounds crazy because here it is Monday the 24th, and I'm doing this video, and you're thinking that just seems really early. The truth of the matter is we had a real warm wave come through 3 weeks ago. It went from 44 degrees to really warm, like 89, 90 degrees. And in that time is when most of the fish spawned. Of course, there were some that pushed forward during the tournament, but a majority of the fish were post-spawn. And as the weekend went on, we got to see a lot of bigger fish being caught. We actually saw Bill Lowen only catch 4 on the final day. There were a lot of anglers that were newer anglers that wanted to go out and scope, and we got to see them get their asses handed to them. And when you catch 3 fish for 2.8, you're not on the right fish. I think some of the weird things that happened was, I'm not sure this whole changing of Roku and FS1 was the right thing. It was it felt like it was last minute. 2 days before we heard, oh, you can watch it on Roku and you can watch it on Apple TV and that stuff. You can't. Roku app is not available on the Apple TV. Not that I could find anyway. Also, FS1 has been how they've done it for so long, and they've had all this amazing viewership on FS1. That's why we don't have entry fees, but now we're not on FS1. It kind of left me going, what the hell is going on? And I think it confused people more than anything. I'd like to see where the ratings are after this first, but it'll be almost impossible because we'll never know how they did on Roku. But they needed to have this information out to the anglers and the fans way more advanced than 2 days before the tournament started. It was disappointing. Day 3, John Garrett was absolutely fantastic with 31.6. That was a highlight for me. A real low light was the halftime show. The first day, it was cringeworthy. I had several people, and by several I mean probably 8 to 10 people, all comment and text to me, this is horrible. I don't know why they would not just show the guys fishing and have Dave do his commentary over it. I would rather have that than WWE anglers looking into the camera and talking to the camera. It was borderline, you can't watch this. I also didn't like that they had the roll-in music overplaying during a lot of the guys talking. Stop the music. I don't know if the music was there to push them off the stage, but it seemed like it was just somebody wasn't paying attention. And the real thing that made me crazy is you had day 1 the wrestlers and then day 2 the pro anglers. And how the hell do the pro anglers not beat the wrestlers in a casting competition. And it was really great to see a lot of traditional anglers in the top 10. You had Bill Murray, and you had Jay Shakurat, and Shane LaHue, and Brock Mosley, John Cox, Corey Johnston, Patrick Walters, Jake Whitaker, and Gerald Swindle in that top 10. Bill Lowen taking home first place. It was fantastic to see it. And there were a lot of good, traditional, I don't want to say elderly or older anglers because they're not old, but we got to see an older school angler merge into that top 10. And that was awesome. I know the fans loved it. And I think the hidden thing that probably people aren't going to realize is, again, Trey McKinney ran the same no-wake zone. Again, 2 years in a row. And I'm going to do another video on that and give my opinion as unbiased as possible. But I don't know what's going on with Trey. He had a horrible tournament, to be honest. But they weren't going to be able to scope because of the weather. But I couldn't be happier that Bill Lowen won. So, Dollar Bill, congratulations. What did you think of the first tournament? Comment below and tell me what you think. Thanks to all the new subscribers and all the new members, all the people who are interactive on the channel. You guys are absolutely fantastic. This is the best community in fishing, period. Some might dispute that, but I'm not going to, because it's all that matters to me. So thank you for being part of the team. But if you're not a subscriber, click that button. Welcome to the team. Remember, take your kid fishing, tight lines, cheers, and get your fish on.